welcome you all to 2024 ESL IPB summer course uh, on ecotourism, nature conservation, and food security. Yeah, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Bahrain Idris, and I'm your moderator in this session. I'm also a junior lecturer at Resource and Environmental Economics in IPB. So I hope I can do this job properly. Yeah. With this pleasure that I will introduce also our keynote speaker for this session, Associate Professor uh, Dr. Zulfan Tadjoeddin. Uh, he is in Associate Professor in Development Studies and Director of Academic Program Human and Development Studies at Western Sydney University. Uh, is also visiting research appointment at Queen Elizabeth of the University of Oxford and at the International Institute of Social Studies of Erasmus University in Rotterdam, the Netherlands. There are many books, yeah, and publication uh, for the preview. Last preview is about the employment and reindustrialization in post Suharto era in Indonesia. Okay, Dr. Tajuddin will be present on the topic of learning journal, a subject of a highlight and critical role to reflective practice, yeah, promoting our issues and also maybe talk about environment, education, and sustainable development. I hope. Okay, Mr. Zulfan, the screen is yours.
Okay, thank you, Pak Bahroin. Good afternoon, everyone. 1 o'clock in Indonesia Eastern Western Time and 4 o'clock now in Sydney. So I'll be speaking about learning journal and why this summer course is started with learning journal, if I'm not mistaken. This is because learning journal is the assessment that you will have to produce as part of your requirement to complete the learning journal, to complete the summer course. So you will have to do the learning journal of each of the learning sessions that you are going to follow during the course of the summer course. And then this is how to do that one. What is learning journal, and then how to write a learning journal. So before we start, there are 31 participants in the Zoom, and minus myself and minus the moderator, it means that there are 29 summer course participants. I'm wondering, out of the 29 participants, how many of you have heard, how many of you have known before the phrase of learning journal? If you can say yes and no through the chat functions of your Zoom, that will be great, just to test also the initial engagement of the participants. So can you please respond yes and or no, whether you know about or you have come across the phrase of learning journal? No? 6 response so far. 7 no. 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 That's great. I'm happy to see this one. So meaning that you will know something that you don't know. So it means that I will be adding some value here. So I'm happy to see that one. Thank you for your response. So half of you have responded. So I'm happy to see the engagement of the class today. Okay, let me share my screen now. 1 second. Yeah. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Yeah, good. And then let me do the share screen. Okay. Now should be clear now, right? Learning journal, what and how to write. Okay, just to reintroduce, I'm at Western Sydney University. I'm an associate professor in development studies, and then this is where we are now, learning journal. So just to begin with, just to make clarifications. When I gave you 1 hour sessions on learning journal, so probably you have asked you will ask me, have you done learning journal before in your experience of studying while doing, say, for example, bachelor degree, master degree, PhD? I will say that I haven't done. So I have no experience of writing a learning journal. I know learning journal only after I took the job as a lecturer in the university. And then I know that one of the type of the assessment used in a couple of subjects in my school, the lecturer asked the student to produce a learning journal. So somehow that will be accounted for about 1/3 of the total final marks of the student for a particular subject. So if you ask me, I only know learning journal only for the past few years after I become a lecturer at the university. So this is new to me. But what I can tell you, we always take notes in our learning process. So learning journal is a kind of taking notes, but learning journal is different kinds of note taking. So this is something that I need to emphasize. Different kinds of note taking. So now let's continue about what do we mean by learning journal. Let me move to the next slide. So basically, what you are going to do is you will be asked to write about 17 entries. I don't know the exact numbers now, but each of the learning sessions that you will see, you will engage during the summer course. So you will have to write one entry for each of the learning session. And then one entry that will be about 100 to 200 words. So that's only. So if you think of 100, that will be about one paragraph. 200, you can have 2 paragraphs or 3 short paragraphs. So that's what you need to do. Short entry for each of the learning sessions. But before we start, let me show you this picture. I don't know whether any of you have been to this place. This picture, I took this picture long time ago, nearly 20 years ago, 18 years ago to be more precise, in 2006. I was in Oxford, and then this place is called Blenheim Palace, located in the outskirts of Oxford, probably about half an hour drive outside Oxford, and then in the middle of nowhere, you will see a mansion, a palace, and the name is Blenheim Palace. So I copied the first paragraph of Blenheim Palace from Wikipedia. So I put the link of from Wikipedia also about the palace. Feel free to have a look. And then this is the picture of the palace from the official website of Blenheim Palace. You will find that beautiful countryside with a very big palace. The question now is, why I show you this picture? Blenheim Palace is the place where the former British Prime Minister Winston Churchill was born. So he was born here. So this is his ancestral home. And this is a museum. One part of the museum that I remember very clearly was a section showing the childhood memory of Winston Churchill. And then among the childhood memory of Winston Churchill was his school note. So you will see during primary school or in high school, the school notes of Sir Winston Churchill, the former Prime Minister of England, of United Kingdom, was on display in this palace. So if you happen to be someone somewhere in the future, so your learning journal will be kept in the museum. So that's important of taking notes. So school notes means a kind of note taking, but different from learning journal. But just to show you how important is someone's school note, learning process note, when someone becomes someone in the future life. Okay, this is just the starter of learning journal. So what is the philosophy of the task? This is the philosophy. Learning journal is basically documenting the learning process in your own personalized way. Why we do this one? This is to ensure the learning process is right. So this is a kind of similar to note-taking, but note-taking in the sense that you do that one in your own way, and then you record different things. So the first thing to record is, what do you know? But learning journal is more than just to record what do you know. So learning journal is to document the learning process. What do you know is part of the learning process. But the learning process is more than just covering what do you know. And very important to record or to document the learning process in your way, in your own personalized way. It means that when you do things in your own way, that will be unique. So it means that when you do things in your own way, that will be kept somewhere intact in your memory. So this is what we call learning process that stick to your mind. So that's the idea of the learning journal. You learn, but what you learn, the outcome is not just passing by in your memory, but stick there because you engage with the process. So that's the philosophy of learning journal. Now, the next simple question is, what is learning journal? I can give you this kind of definitions. Learning journal is reflective journals, that is personal records of students' learning experience. So remember that this is important to remember. This is personal. So you can't copy someone else's note. If you copy someone else's note, that notes will be nothing personal to you. That will not stuck in your mind. But you have to do that one. So that's why it is important to have a pen and paper. In the very much computerized world, we stop using pen and paper. We take notes in our phone. We take notes in our laptop. We take notes in our gadgets. But psychologists have said that taking notes with pen and paper still will have some unique personalized effect on someone's learning journal. So it is important to keep the culture of pen and paper. But now everything will have to be backed up by the more secure and long-lasting documentation through electronic means. So that's the definitions of learning journal. Now the next one, why use a learning journal? What is the objective? Rather than just you have the copy of the slides, you have the copy of the paper, something that you can easily go back later, you can read. But what is the unique use of learning journal then, if it is the case? So learning journal is to provide a live picture of your growing understanding of a subject. So learning journal will document how you grow, and you can see later how you grow. Say, for example, after these sessions, 1 hour with me, for example, and then you will create one paragraph or two paragraph entry of your own learning journal on learning journal. That will record the outcome, the progress of your learning journal soon after you engage with the learning journal for the first time, something that you haven't come across before. And then if you read that one next week or next month or next year, and then you will see how your understanding of learning journal has improved compared to, say, today. So that's the meaning of life picture. So timing is really important about the learning journal. So the best time to, if you have to produce one entry for these learning sessions, you have to do that one soon after the sessions with me. And in the meantime, you can have your pen and paper, and then you can write anything. You can draw a diagram. You can create just phrases. You draw arrow or whatever. So you take notes in your own way that will characterize your learning process. So that's the first reason why I use a learning journal. The second one, to demonstrate how your learning is developing. This is quite similar to the first one. The first one is your growing understanding. Now to demonstrate how your learning is developing. And then the third one is to keep record of your thoughts and ideas throughout your experience of learning. So this is about to record the dynamic. Say, for example, if you regularly produce a learning journal on one subject in one semester, for example, and then in one semester you have, say, for example, 12 or 13 learning sessions or 13 weeks of in one semester, and then you create one entry for each of the learning sessions, and then after 13 weeks you will have 13 entries, for example, and then after that, you can evaluate how you have traveled in that subject according to your own personalized learning journal. So this is the idea to keep record of your thoughts and ideas throughout your learning experience. Now, a learning journal helps you to be reflective. So this is really important. I put the reflective in red and with underline. A learning journal helps you to be reflective about your learning. So this is not just about to record what you know or to just to write down the key points. It has to be showing how you react on the key points. What is your reflections? So this means that your learning journal should not be a purely descriptive account of what you did or what you knew at that time. But it has to be serve as an opportunity for you to communicate your thinking process while you are engaging with the content. So basically, this is about what is your take on the new knowledge that you have just learned. That's the meaning of being reflective. That's how learning journal will be different from just taking notes, because learning journal will have to be reflective. Now, the practical questions. What to record? When you want to produce a learning journal, what to record? So this is the laundry list of what you can record. but I divide the points here into three colors. The first one is in the green color, the first three. Number 4 and number 5 in blue color. And the next one I have in red color. In total, we have 9 points about what to record. The first one, what do you think about points issues raised? So we move beyond the descriptive accounts of what do you know. Taking notes will only concern with what are the new things that you learn. Dot points, 1, 2, 3. This topic, 1, 2, 3. The next one, 1, 2, 3. But learning journal, you need to record what you think. This is reflective. What do you think about points or issues being raised? Say, for example, you take record on what is learning journal, and then why you use learning journal. What are the reasons? And then on top of that one, you need to record what is your take. So it means that learning journal will require active mind participations in learning rather than passive. Passive means you listen to a lecture, you follow a learning sessions, and you just being passive. But following learning sessions, you have to keep your mind active, and then you keep reflecting, you keep questioning. So that's why the key here is the reflective component of learning journal is about what are your takes? What is your take about what you just have learned? So the first thing to record is what you think about the points, about the issues raised in your learning sessions. That's the first one. The second one is any flashes of inspirations you have had, new ideas. So this is more about growing your understanding. Growing your understanding doesn't mean that you know more, but you put more questions. You know one, you have another questions. You got two, you have more questions. That's how we develop our knowledge, right? And the third one is what you understand so far. So this is the minimum requirement that you need to have when you write your learning journal. The first three. If you have time, you have more energy, you can do the fourth one. What you find puzzling, difficult, or contradictory. How you can reach a better understanding of the above. So the number 4, number 5 are more sophisticated tasks to record. Probably this is too much, but think of the first three. So that's why I differentiate the color here about the pointers of what to record. Now, if you want more things to record, I can go on with the next pointers. What do you need to know more about and how you can go about finding out more? What resources have helped you to understand or been interesting to use? Probably you develop your learning journal during the night of after your learning sessions or in the following day, for example. Meaning that writing learning journal is about continuing your learning process after learning sessions. How do you feel about the way you have approached the issue with the topic so far? What new knowledge, skills, or understanding have you gained during the process of writing your learning journal? So if you see the point from number 1 till number 9, you see increased sophistications, increased content about the learning journal that you will produce. So for the sake of the task that you need to produce for the summer course, probably you can concentrate on the first three. If you have more time, more energy, you can go number 4 and number 5. That should be already good enough for the task of producing learning journal for this summer course. But for your own purpose, you can keep going with the next 4 points here. Now, after all, you have to write, right? The product of learning journal is writing. This is something that I keep telling my student, since I'm sure that all of us here are not the English is not our first language. So this suggestions is in particular very important for for those of us as English as a second language. So this is something that we need to remember about the how to write a good paragraph. So one entry of the learning journal, that will be about 1 or 2 paragraphs, maximum 3 paragraphs. If you want to write 3 paragraphs or 200 words, it means that one paragraph is about 70 words, very short paragraph. So what needs to be there in the first place is you have clear idea. Without clear idea, you will produce unclear writing. So remember that when you write a paragraph, you need to have a leading sentence and then you have the supporting sentences. Don't forget that one. Something that you can identify a paragraph has no structure. Yeah. So, but increasingly, the younger generations has a very poor writing ability. And be mindful of how your sentence flow from the leading paragraph and then supported by the following paragraphs in your paragraph. And this is also the last one. I always say this one to my student, that when you write, better to write in short sentences rather than long sentences. Short sentence is a lot easier to develop. And then short sentence also will enforce clarity. So easy to be clear in short sentence rather than long sentence. So my suggestion is you use simple and short sentences and you develop a short paragraph. So on paragraph, you can have also long paragraph or short paragraph. I would suggest use short paragraph rather than long paragraph. So rather than having one paragraph of 200 words, better to have 2 paragraphs of 100 words each. Yeah, something like that. So that's my practical suggestions about how to write a good paragraph. Now, this is how your learning journal will be assessed. That will be, your entry will be classified into 5 categories: excellent, very good, good, fair, inadequate. So inadequate, you did not pass. So if you want to classify this one in the Western world, we used to use this one. Fair means you just pass, good means credit, very good means distinctions, excellent means high distinctions. That's how we use the grade here in Australia. So 3 things are important here, 3 components. The first one is, what are the points? The importance of points being highlighted in your entry. The second one is the reflective content of your entry. We call it reflexivity. And then the last one is the quality of writing expressions. So this is what we call the marking rubric of your learning journal that you will be producing after at the end of, you will have to submit at the end of the summer course. I'm nearly done. I have a final note for you. Something that very much the increasingly becoming the problem in the university life. This is about the use of artificial intelligence. So I gave you here a colleague of mine making a Facebook post about exam marking time, the struggle with AI. the struggle with AI continues using judo moves. So what he did was he suspected that a student response was a product of ChatGPT, and then he used ChatGPT to check whether the submissions was the product of ChatGPT. And then ChatGPT can explain that one. Yes, it is the product of ChatGPT. So this is something that we struggle now. So my suggestion is don't use artificial intelligence. Better to learn how to write from word, from phrase. You develop sentence, and then sentence, you combine couple of sentence, and then you have paragraph. And then when you combine couple of paragraph, you have one entry of learning journal. So my practical suggestions, don't use AI, learn how to write from scratch. So that's my practical advice. If I'm sure that you are aware of the issue now about, in the past, we just concerned about plagiarism. We have the software to detect plagiarism. But increasingly, for the past probably just 1 or 2, 3 years, probably just 1 or 2 years, the university educations, higher education start to be flooded by the use of artificial intelligence to produce essay, to produce a paragraph, to produce writing. And then so many couple of programs, apps that you can use. But my suggestion is don't use artificial intelligence. Learn how to write from scratch. And then the product of artificial intelligence will be eventually will be detected. And we have the mechanism to detect the product of artificial intelligence. That's all my presentations. I'll be more than happy to have conversations with you about Learning Journal. Feel free to ask any questions, to seek clarifications, and then I'll be happy to also listen to your how do you receive this kind of new things if it is new. Okay, over to you, Pak Bahroin.
Okay, thank you so much, Pak Zulfan. Yeah, give applause reaction. Maybe I will give a. It's very reflective, and I think it's personalized material from Mr. Zulfan. Yeah, maybe this is the second time I also uh, become a moderator of Mr. Zulfan, but very fresh and very personalized material. Thank you. I write down the many kinds of new idea and reflective journal. When you say about the material, I also write down, uh, taking note in learning journal version. But I hope in a Q&A session, many of participants will ask more, and maybe there are some confirmation about the information and many kind of uh, new idea. Yeah. Okay. For dear participant, we are open the a question and discussion. So feel free to use column chat or raise hand to ask especially for our uh, honorable speaker, Mr. Zulfan. Okay, Rifdah. Okay, please open your mic. Yep.
Okay, thank you so much for these opportunities. My name is Rifdah Utami Hasnana Diva, but my friend call me Rifdah. I'm from IPB University. The major is Research Environmental Economics student. I have permission to ask because I'm still in the 4th semester, approximately for journal. We as student can start by determining the topic first or a problem first. Because as long as I want to start, I'm still confused about determining the subject first or the problem first. Thank you.
Is
Uh,
to
let
okay.
okay let I'll forget the questions if we keep a couple of. Let me quickly respond to this one.
Sure, sir.
Now, let's focus on your assessment. Learning journal is personalized way of learning, documenting your learning process. So if you want to use learning journal for your own learning process, that's up to you, right? But your question is about the learning journal tasks that you need to do for this summer course. Now, there is no rigid rule here. Because when you listen to half an hour lecture, for example, the lecture will contain many things. And how many things that you can write in 200 words, in 150 words? Not many. If you want to try to put so many things in 200 words, you will produce 200 words or two paragraph or one paragraph that will have no meaning because you put too many things or dot points. So my suggestion is for the learning journal task that you are going to produce, this is the process. You take notes while you are engaging in the learning process. You take notes. And then remember the first three items that I mentioned that you need to cover. The first one is what is your take on the points. The second one is any new ideas that comes to your mind. So if you use those two key points, after listening to, say, for example, 20 minutes, 25 minutes of my presentations before, you will get a couple of points. And then after the sessions, you look at your notes. That notes could be messy, but that notes actually document your learning process. And then you spend half an hour, for example, 15 minutes, half an hour, you develop the key points from your notes and pick the most important one, and then you elaborate that one in one paragraph. And the way you elaborate your in one paragraph or two paragraphs of the most important one that you will show from the learning process that you have just done, and then you can put your thought there, your reflections, your ideas, or simply just your understanding of what you have learned. So better to have limited one or two just key points, but you elaborate that one in one or two paragraphs, rather than trying to show so many things, but eventually means nothing. So I think that would be my suggestions for you, practical suggestion, how you can approach the learning journal tasks that you need to do.
Okay. I hope the explanation answer your question, Rifda. Anything else, or you will ask more for another question, Rifda?
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Zulfan.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Is what's the point? And the new idea after that, how far we understand about that point and idea? Yeah. Linking dots, many dots, because there are many new information we must elaborate, sir. Yeah, elaborate the information. Very interesting. Uh, okay. Another participant.
There is one question in the chat function.
Oh,
Chat.
okay.
Yeah, let me respond to this one from
Oh, yeah, from Isa
Hamadu.
Amadu. Okay.
How to create a flow in our long subchapter journal? No, your entry is very short. Don't worry. Your entry, say for example, you from one topic, you have only one entry. The entry is very short. Don't worry about to create the flow. Just the flow means the way you will show your points in one paragraph. So the flow of the paragraph. So that's what I mean by the flow there. Flow of your paragraph, because paragraph will have to connect. When you write one paragraph, you have the leading sentence, and the leading sentence will have to be supported by supporting sentences. Leading sentence will have to be one, cannot be two or three, right? And one paragraph should consist at least two sentences, at least, right? And then two sentences mean one is the leading one, then supported by one or supported by two paragraphs. So the flow there, what I mean by the flow is the flow of your paragraph, right? And then if you have two paragraphs, make sure that they are connected. So there is no such thing as long sub-chapter in your learning journal. And the second question is very, very important. How to use ChatGPT in effective way due to this AI always developed by the time. So my suggestion is, I don't know how much you have explored ChatGPT. I'm new also to ChatGPT, but I'm surprised also. But when you know that my student, student think that they are smart enough, they want to cheat the lecturer, right? But the student somehow forget that lecturer will know exactly that the student is cheating them. So I can differentiate student response, oh, this is a product of AI. I can identify. My sense is working. Somehow, the AI response is too good to be true. When you see something is too good, somehow, too good in wording. But when you look at the substance, you can see the flaws in the substance. Artificial intelligence is artificial. They are not genuine intelligence. But human being is more genuine intelligence. So if you are, Pak Baroin, if you are a lecturer, you have to be ahead of your student. Don't let yourself to be cheated by your student. And then you learn more than your student. You know more than your student. You read more than your student. So for us as a lecturer, we just love to see that the student try to use the AI. I can spot that one. And now we are helped by the system. We have the mechanism to detect AI product. And then when we look at, but AI is basically AI. I mean, it doesn't mean that now is the higher education system in Australia is still finding the right way of dealing with AI. Yeah. So we are not saying this is not black and white. Yeah. This is very gray area. I'm telling you. So that's why my suggestion is don't use AI. Just write from scratch. Learn how to write good paragraph, good entry for your learning journey. And writing English is hard. I'm telling you, that's hard. Yeah. So never underestimate that one. When is it, but probably since I mentioned ChatGPT AI, probably after this sessions you will start exploring what you can do using ChatGPT. Probably, I don't know, up to you. This is where we are now. Okay, that's my response to the questions from Isa.
Okay, thank you, sir. How come we uh, active? It's like you say we have an instinct to know that this is AI not or not without AI. Maybe Mr. Zulfan, there are many tips and tricks for us to detect by our instinct, right? Because if we use the system, maybe is too easy for us to just copy and then ask the AI, is this AI or not? But if we learn, if we read our student sentence or the exam,
This
we have
is
a
this is learning by doing. I mean,
learning by doing. Okay.
learning by doing. When you see more and then you develop your instinct. But two things is important here. One is writing is something, substance is something else. Okay, writing, it means that writing is about language. Okay, the language might be correct. The language could be perfect, but you look at the substance. In AI, the language will be perfect, in terms of sentences, in terms of the completeness, in terms of grammar, all will be perfect. But when you think of the sentence, when you think of the content, you will see the flaws there. So that's why, as a lecturer, when we design the questions, when we design the tasks, we have to be ahead of what AI can produce, because we have to compete with the new way of cheating. So if you don't compete, you will be cheated. Okay, so that's a challenge for us, and then the challenge of everyone. I don't know what is the use of AI in producing thesis, producing essay in Indonesia. I have no idea, but this is the common, increasingly problem that we are still learning how to deal with this kind of thing. Okay, this is probably out of the. Okay, is it
Okay,
okay to
thank you,
get
sir.
the idea from
Is there
AI?
any question? There is any question, sir? It is okay to get an idea from AI.
Probably, because there's no black and white here. Probably yes. But the best, okay, what now, if you are thinking of how you can perform in this producing learning journal for this summer course, if you think of the topic will be very unique. So don't rely on that one. Just follow the learning process as much as you can. Try to understand, develop, be active, activate your mind. Yeah? Use active mind when you engage in the learning process. And then when you have active mind, you take notes. And then after the learning sessions, you need to allocate time to reflect on what you have learned. So the outcome of your reflections on what you have learned after the learning sessions, and then you produce one paragraph entry, and then you learn to write as much as you can. So whatever the outcome of your learning, but your learning process is genuine, that will be much better rather than relying on AI. That would be my suggestion. Don't use AI. If you want to try, that's up to you. No one can prevent you. You can try to ask any question in AI, and then probably you can test the ability of AI. Ask something that you know, that you have an idea, and then construct the questions that will capture what you understand, and then you compare AI answer with your understanding. Yeah, you can check your understanding. So that's my suggestions. Probably the sessions is now about AI now rather than the learning journey.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, let's open more questions.
Okay, thank you. Is there any question from the participant? Maybe some of you can raise your hand and sir, this is a direct message to me. Uh, okay. In opening, you tell us about write down 100 until 200 words. Yeah, is it for all of the learning journal? I mean, is it for the introduction until the conclusion about is about all 100 to 200 words? It's for all or for every section? Maybe it's for introduction is 100 words. For the main uh, issue is 100 words, and the conclusion is also 100 words.
Okay.
How about that?
You are not writing a paper. Come on, differentiate learning journal and paper. So what you explained to me looks like you are going to write a paper. No, this is not writing a paper. So look, you will engage in, say, 15 to 17 learning sessions during the whole of the summer course. And this is one learning session. And then say, for example, tomorrow or day after tomorrow, you will see in another learning sessions about food security, for example. So learning journal is one learning session. Food security is another learning session. So the task here is you write one entry for each of the learning sessions. And one entry will consist of 100 to 200 words. So there is no introductions, there is no conclusions here. This is about just one entry. It should be clear now. If you produce 200 words, think of producing 2 paragraphs at least, rather than just one big paragraph of 200 words. Write 2 paragraphs about one learning sessions. And the different learning sessions will have different entry. And then you put together all the entries that you have created. Then that's your learning journal that you will submit to the summer course coordinator at the end of the summer course.
Okay. Okay, Yusuf, your turn.
Okay, so Mr. Zulfan, I have a few questions about how to tell which kind of topic is important. For example, for tomorrow lectures is about shark tourism. So, for example, if the speaker uh, tells us about more about the tourism, but what I know, what I feel like want to write is about shark. So how do I choose between shark and tourism? Yeah, that's my first question. And the second question is, can we submit paper-based note, or is it have to be the Word or PDF or something? That is just my question. Thank you, sir.
On the first one, that would be up to you. You make up your mind about the points that you want to entertain in your entry. And of course, the things that you are going to write in your entry will be much more limited than the content of the one learning sessions. That for sure that will be the case. So what do you want to write in your entry for each of the learning sessions? That will be entirely up to you. And remember that the parameter for marking your submissions will be about the importance of the point that you highlight and the your reflexivity, and then the quality of your writing. So what will be the content? That will be up to you. What will be the points? That will be up to you. So that's why this is your personalized way of producing the entry. On the second questions, this is very technical. I believe that you submit that one in Word file, and then if you have to submit, say, for example, 10 or 15 entry, and then you write title for each of the entry, and then you submit. I mean, and then each of the entry will be just 1 paragraph or 2 paragraph, short writing. So I think that would be my understanding of the requirement for producing learning journal.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Zulfan.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Yusuf. Anything else from the participant? Because it's the warming up session maybe before before we listen more about the many kinds of the information and topics. Oh, Pak Sutrisno. Oh, oh, okay, okay, okay. This is for the technical recent uh, attendance. Okay. Okay, thank you for the suggestion, Pak Sutrisno. Okay, anything else from another participant? Because it's very basic and maybe it's new information, yeah. because the majority of the participants say that this is the first time for us to listen about the learning journal, personalized way. Yeah, it's our own personalized way to make a documentary of learning process. Maybe this is the tagline for learning journal. Yeah. Uh, is there any question about the learning journal from the participant? Uh, okay, maybe if there is no question, I give the 10 minutes for Mr. Zulfan for the closing statement and maybe give us about the uh, key point for us to how to learning journal. Okay, thank you, Mr. Zulfan. Share us the, the the materials for today. Thank you, Mr. Zulfan. But I hope we also get the closing statement from you uh, to us and get for us to how we can make some outstanding or awesome learning journal. Okay, please, Mr.
Okay, learning journal is very simple. And there is no need to give you much more elaborated meanings. What is learning journal? What can be done? What is more important is when you understand what it is, why it is done, and then what can be recorded, and then the meaning of personalized way of documenting your learning process. What is more important is just to do that one, do the exercise, and then uh, try to produce that one. Probably you can share one. Say for example, let me give you one example to exercise. After this learning sessions about learning journal, and then ask yourself, what is your take about learning journal? Do you think that learning journal will be useful to develop or to, and then put your mind and then write one paragraph on that. And then you allocate, say, for example, 20 minutes to write one paragraph. And then you stop after 20 minutes, one paragraph, you write about 100 words, yeah, one paragraph or 80 words. And then you do something else, and then you go back to what you have written and ask yourself, have you write clearly? Do you understand what you read? Is the points that you write clear enough? So this is about practicing, about doing this one. So doing this one is more important rather than keep asking more questions. So I think my suggestion now is try to make one entry about learning journal, and then probably you can share with one of your friend. You read mine, I read yours, and then you comment on each other. You can laugh after that, for example. And probably you'll say that I don't understand what you write. I don't understand what you write too. So it means that you have not clear about what. So this is about, so many of us, many of us don't think that being clear is easy. Being clear is hard. Yeah? Don't underestimate of the difficulty of to be clear. Yeah? So that's why clarity is my first point about writing. Yeah? So learning journal will push you to be able to write clearly, nicely, correctly. Yeah. Okay. That would be my the way I would like to put a kind of bit more emphasis at the end of the lecture. Thank you, Pak Parwin.
Thank you. Yeah. Try to produce first. Yeah. Try to produce that one. Just do it. Yeah. And then learn how to write from the scratch. I think this is the strong point for us after the receive the many information and taking note in a simple way. But now we have a new knowledge about the how to write down the learning journal based on our personalized way. Yeah, because everyone is very unique. I think if Rifdah maybe read my personal or learning journal, maybe she didn't understand because it's very personal for me. But I hope also everyone here get a strong point from Mr. Zulfan. It's very reflective journal, personal records, and this is how we record our learning process. Maybe this is the strong point. I hope also everyone here get the many idea, many points. After this one, I will invest maybe 20 or 30 minutes for write down the two paragraph from that materials. Mr. Julfan, thank you for inspiring us. And before we uh, finish our session, please everyone to turn on your camera because we will take a picture, the digital group picture maybe, yeah, because it's for me it's very uh, uh, we need to take a picture for the documentation. Okay, we okay. Thank you for everyone. Is there any? We will turn on the camera. Mas Arif, are you there? Oh, I will count from. Okay, okay. We wait 1 minute more. Okay, yeah. Okay, I will count down from 3, 2, 1. Say cheese. Okay, I will it first. Once again, uh, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you for all active participation and insightful uh, contribution, especially for our honorable speaker, Mr. Zulfan Tadjoeddin. I hope everyone stay safe, stay healthy, yeah, and best wishes for your family, Mr. Zulfan. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Pak
And
Pravin. Yeah,
see
thank
you
you.
in
Thank
another
you. Bye-bye.
session. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Don't forget to write down your attendance at the link. Yeah. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi